Good afternoon. We are delighted to welcome everyone to the Convocation ceremony for Northwestern Pritzker School of Law, class of 2025. As we begin, we would like to acknowledge that Northwestern is a community of learners situated within a network of historical and contemporary relationships with Native American tribes, communities, parents, students, and alumni. It is also in close proximity to an urban Native American community in Chicago and near several tribes in the Midwest. The Northwestern campus sits on the traditional homelands of the people of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Potawatomi, the Odawa, as well as the Menominee, Miami, and Ho-Chunk nations. It is also a site of trade, travel, gathering, and healing for more than a dozen other Native tribes and is still home to over 100,000 tribal members in the state of Illinois. It is within Northwestern's responsibility as an academic institution to disseminate knowledge about Native peoples and the institution's history with them. Consistent with the university's commitments, Northwestern works towards building relationships with Native American communities through academic pursuits, partnerships, historical recognitions, community service, and enrollment efforts. So it is wonderful to be able to come together in community and welcome the friends and family of our graduates who are here with us in person today and those who are joining us remotely from around the world. As we've been doing for the last several days, please join me in congratulating our amazing graduates of the class of 2025. It is also a pleasure to welcome our special guests. So this year's Convocation speaker, the Honorable Michael Y. Scudder, Circuit Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit, and Carmen Perez Yorca Zamora, Vice Dean of Strategic Initiatives at IE, our partner school in Madrid, and Northwestern Board of Trustees member Tariq El Masri. Could you please join me in giving them a big welcome? So today we are honoring and celebrating an extraordinary achievement, our graduates' successful completion of a rigorous legal education program. Now, this would be a major achievement at any time. And at this time of challenge, the importance of the degrees that our graduates are obtaining could not be clearer. We are proud that at our law school to prepare future lawyers, judges, and legal professionals who serve society and take an oath to our Constitution. And we are so proud of this year's outstanding class of 2025 graduates and excited for the difference that they will make. These graduates have shown leadership, resiliency, and support for one another and give me so much hope for the future. It is with great pleasure that we celebrate and recognize our amazing graduates. Let's give them another round of applause. The 165th class to graduate from Northwestern Pritzker Law includes 608 graduates from 8 degree programs: Juris Doctor, Joint Juris Doctor, Master of Business Administration, Master of Laws in International Human Rights, Master of Laws in Taxation, Executive Master of Laws, Master of Studies in Law, and Master of Science in Law. Our graduates come from all over the United States and 36 places around the world, and they have already accomplished so much and contributed so much in their time in law school. They have published scholarship and collaborated with our faculty on scholarly projects. They've had competitive success, including placing among the top 10 in the Price Media Law Moot Court and winning the Midwest Regional of the American Association for the Justice Student Trial Advocacy Competition for the 2nd year in a row. This graduating class collectively gave 7,832 hours of their time to public service. 52 students from across our programs completed our public service goal of at least 50 hours of public service, or the equivalent goal for students here less than 3 years, with 25 students volunteering at least 100 hours and 17 volunteering more than 200 hours. They've enriched our community and given back in so many ways, including through participating in the Bloom Legal Clinic, tutoring students, increasing access to LSAT-related resources for incarcerated students, creating the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law Campus Art Walk, developing a podcast featuring first-generation students, alumni, and faculty, increasing the availability of kosher food options at student events, and serving as ambassadors on behalf of the law school at local law fairs and institutions across the country. And this, and so much more, was just in law school. Following their graduation from these programs, our JD and LLM graduates will make their impact in the United States and around the world at major law firms and businesses, governmental positions, and public interest positions that advance justice and human rights. Our JD graduates will be clerking for federal and state court judges in 11 states plus DC after graduation. Our MSL graduates will bring their integrated law, business, and STEM knowledge to law, medicine, technology, and other companies, healthcare and management consulting, and regulatory affairs and compliance. Our LLM tax graduates will embark on careers as tax attorneys at law firms and accounting firms, and within government and academia. We are very excited for our graduates' next chapter and all that they will contribute. Now, it's very important at this milestone moment to recognize the people who supported our graduates to this day and will be there for them as they move forward. But we also want to acknowledge those who are not with us today, especially MSL student Janelle Salkowitz-Bokal, who passed away in January. We are honored to have her family here today to accept her diploma. We know, as each of our graduates know, that the love and unfailing support of family and friends, always and particularly during these challenging times, have played a crucial role in getting them today and will support them as they move into the future. Please join us in congratulating and thanking our graduates' loved ones. Northwestern Pritzker Law is privileged to have a team of amazing faculty, administrators, and staff that is deeply committed to serving our students. Please join us in thanking the faculty, administrators, and staff who have taught, mentored, and supported our graduates, and those who worked so hard to make today's celebration special. At this time of polarization, challenge, and change. In our country and countries around the world, the importance of law could not be clearer, and the world needs the leadership of our graduates. Our graduates began law school, as law students across our state do, with a pledge of professionalism in which they commit to service without prejudice, integrity without compromise, and to promote the principles of justice handed down by generations of attorneys. They ended law school with an inspiring last lecture from Professor Muchman, focused on these responsibilities to the rule of law and the importance of our individual ethical choices. We are in a moment where we face foundational governmental challenges to our legal system and higher education that directly affect our university, our law school, our academic programs, and members of our community. Law is central to addressing these challenges, and we have a responsibility as a law school and lawyers to support the rule of law, our legal system, and legal education. We take that responsibility seriously at Northwestern Pritzker Law. Leadership matters, and I'm grateful to our faculty, staff, students, and alumni for the many ways that they are supporting impacted people, including helping students and alumni affected by government freezes and layoffs, and developing resources for our community on immigration. In April, I reached out to US and foreign law deans to explore how we could work together to make a difference. The nonpartisan rule of law global academic partnership that emerged now includes over 150 law schools from 6 continents and is moving forward with research, teaching, programming, and public education on judicial independence and separation of powers, the role of lawyers and legal representation, the role of universities and academic freedom, and due process. Many members of our faculty are participating, and I look forward to our community's continued collaboration on these efforts. The access to justice gap also remains profound and unacceptable, with the Legal Services Corporation reporting that 92% of low-income people in this country receive no or inadequate legal help with their civil legal problems, and the World Justice Project reporting that more than 5.1 billion people around the world are not getting the justice that they need for both everyday problems and severe injustices. As members of the legal profession, you have a unique opportunity and responsibility to contribute to the rule of law and justice and make it impact. And this class, you've already contributed so much to doing so in important ways during law school. The class of 2025 also faces a rapidly changing profession as legal professionals and legal systems grapple with the role of emerging technology like generative AI and the lingering impacts of our COVID-19 pivots to remote and hybrid work. Your ability in this class to nimbly evolve and innovate, which you've already just demonstrated during your time at Northwestern, will be critical in this environment. And beyond these major challenges and opportunities in the profession and society, we have opportunities every day, small and large, to live our values, build community, see the humanity in each other, and lift up one another. We are grateful for the ways you've done so in law school and excited for the difference that you'll make. You give us hope for the future. Can we have another round of applause for the wonderful class of 2025 in their country? It is now my great honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, the Honorable Michael Y. Scudder. An alumnus of the class of 1998, Judge Scudder is an accomplished jurist who has served as a circuit judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit. He joined the court in May 2018, filling the vacancy created upon the retirement of Judge Richard Posner. While at Northwestern Pritzker Law, Judge Scudder served as editor-in-chief of the Law Review. After graduating, he served as a law clerk to Judge Paul V. Niemeyer of the United States Court of Appeals for the 4th Circuit and Justice Anthony M. Kennedy of the Supreme Court of the United States. He spent 2 years as an associate at the law firm of Jones Day in Cleveland, Ohio, before returning to public service. He served first as an assistant United States attorney in the Southern District of New York. He then joined the U.S. Department of Justice as counselor to the Deputy Attorney General on a national security team, and served in the White House as counsel to President George W. Bush and general counsel of the National Security Council. From 2009 until his confirmation to the Court of Appeals in 2018, Judge Scudder was a partner in the Chicago office of Skadden Arps, Slate, Meagher, and Flom, LLP, where he practiced complex civil litigation and white-collar defense. While at the firm, Judge Scudder had an extensive pro bono caseload and was recognized for his pro bono work by the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. Judge Scudder's ongoing dedication to justice, national security, and public service reflects an inspiring commitment to the rule of law and the highest standards of integrity. We're fortunate that Judge Scudder shared his tremendous expertise and experience with the law school for many years, including mentoring our students and graduates as externs and law clerks in his chambers, and teaching his very popular Advanced Federal Jurisdiction course. So many students have shared with me the difference his teaching and mentoring have made in their lives, and this year he was again the well-deserved recipient of the Outstanding Adjunct Professor Award. We are honored and delighted that Judge Scudder is joining us today to share his insights with our graduates, and we also extend a warm welcome to his wife, Sarah, and members of his chambers. We're extremely grateful to Judge Scudder's leadership and public service, and I've been personally grateful to learn from his insights. He has given back to our law school, our students, and society in so many ways, and his support makes such a difference. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Judge Scudder.
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, for your very generous introduction. Good afternoon, graduates, trustees, distinguished faculty, family, and friends. I want to begin by also extending my heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2025. Having been part of this community for your entire time here, I can say with confidence, you're a great class with an extraordinarily bright future ahead of you, and it's a tremendous honor to address you today. When I go back to being in your same seat, now 25 years ago, I remember thinking a few things. I made it, I'm broke, and I'm ready to celebrate on my parents' dime. I'll tell you, I can also remember being a little nervous and uncertain about the future. And perhaps many of you are thinking along similar lines today. While this day is about celebrating your incredible accomplishments at Northwestern, like Dean Osofsky, I want to remind you not to forget about and thank those who helped you get to where you are today and who cheered you along all throughout law school. Your family, your professors, your friends. We don't accomplish anything in life alone. So take time today to thank those who made or helped make today possible for you. Let me invite you also to pause for a moment and recall why you decided to go to law school. Why'd you want to be a lawyer? I bet for many of you, indeed maybe all of you, you're reminded that you came to law school to make a difference. You came to law school to learn the law as part of a broader effort to learn how to become a great lawyer. Maybe you knew what kind of lawyer you wanted to be. A great tax lawyer, immigration lawyer, prosecutor, and so on. Or maybe you didn't. But what all of your individual resolve has in common, at least as I've come to know you, is a desire to make a difference. To become an outstanding counselor for your clients, a subject matter expert in your field, and for many of you, a lawyer who drives broader change, whether in an area of law, on an issue you care deeply about, or more broadly, within our country. Why am I starting here? It's because that same sense of purpose, tinged for most of you with healthy idealism, is what should continue to light your path in law. Do not lose sight of the vision and aspiration that brought you to Northwestern. Let it continue to be your North Star. Now, many of you are probably pausing on what I'm saying, and you should be to some degree. For there's no doubt we live in and you're graduating into turbulent and uncertain times where we often see more division than unity. No, you probably never envisioned having feelings like these in mind on your graduation day. And yes, just to say it, at times our democracy in America can be noisy, messy, and frustrating. Indeed, some of you, I have no doubt, would agree on all fronts. Others of you, maybe not. For most of you, though, I suspect you're feeling some degree of uncertainty about what lies ahead, and I bet, if we're being honest with each other, that feeling is complicating and perhaps dampening that sense of positive purpose that led you to law school in the first place. All understandable, all very real, I have no doubt, for many of you. And that's why it's especially important to step back on a day like today and reflect on how you might approach the challenges that await you. While I wish I had a surefire solution, I do have some observations and advice to offer. So give me a few minutes to make the case for why I believe each of you are more than ready to excel as lawyers, and how you can still make the differences you so want to make as lawyers. And rest assured, I'm a textualist, so a few minutes means just that. Let's start with something I hope we can all agree on. Nobody promised me, and nobody promised you, that law school or life as a lawyer would be easy. Easy Street was never part of the bargain. You know this was true in the classroom, for none of you would say that the Erie Doctrine, proximate causation, the law of consideration and contract formation, or Professor Reddish's favorite, the federal jurisdiction abstention doctrines, were easy. They're not easy for me either. But through lots of hard work and concentration, we can understand these and any other areas of law. The key is diligence. And you know the type of diligence I'm talking about. The roll your sleeves up kind. The kind where you're reading with undivided attention, with your iPhone in your backpack, taking active notes and breaking down the elements and principles that combine to form legal doctrine. It's your diligence that mattered in law school and will make the difference going forward, whether the subject matter is tax or torts, constitutional law or contracts. You can do this. Above all else, Northwestern has taught each of you how to learn law, how to think like a lawyer, how to understand complexity, appreciate nuance, recognize ambiguity, and reason with balance. You're very blessed. You came to one of the nation's best law schools, and now you're graduating having learned how to learn law. That's a big part of why you should both feel a sense of pride in your accomplishment today and know you're ready to start practicing. So my first piece of advice to you is to resolve at this very moment to stay a student of law. The biggest mistake you could make is to celebrate your graduation as though it marks the end of your legal education. Celebrate, yes, but think of today as marking not only accomplishment, but also the beginning of a new commitment to lifelong learning. The best lawyers I saw in private practice and now see on the Seventh Circuit are students of law. They know what they're talking about because they do their homework. They read the statutes and cases, they think hard about the best answers to the hardest questions, and they push themselves to write and argue with clarity and efficiency. Trial lawyers do much the same before juries as corporate lawyers do around negotiating tables and before boards of directors. I know all of you have this in you, for I taught many of you advanced federal jurisdiction, and I saw your talent on full display. You know what else I learned? That you're not shy to tell me what you think the law should be, leaving me hard-pressed at times to get a word in edgewise about what the law is. Hold on to this passion, curiosity, and engagement. Just as I hope all of you remain lifelong students of law, I hope just as dearly that you all remain committed to achieving a more perfect vision of what the law can become. What I know for sure is that this graduating class overflows with talent. Success is not going to fall from the sky, though. Achieving it requires staying smart. How? By following developments in your area of law, by pushing yourself to keep improving your writing, preparing for client meetings and court hearings, by thinking through what you want to say and how best to say it. All of this made you good students, and it's going to make you great lawyers if you keep it up. Easy? Of course not. But why would we think it's supposed to be? Did anyone really think it was easy to figure out the so-called power theory of personal jurisdiction? And yes, I mean a la Pennoyer v. Neff and Burnham, and how it can coincide with international shoe? Nobody should answer that question yes, because, as I think you also learned, it's actually illegal to make a false statement to a federal judge. Another way to hear my message is as an invitation to commit to excellence. You have everything it takes to succeed as a lawyer if you maintain the right blend of ingredients you learned here at Northwestern, with the keys to the recipe being to stay smart, stay curious, stay a student of law. My second piece of advice is to take a long view of your career by always committing to work in the public interest. I didn't enter law school with this view. Rather, I came to Northwestern out of public accounting wanting to become a corporate transactional lawyer. I took many classes in those areas and to this day love corporate and commercial law. Indeed, if you told me I had to be a corporate lawyer today, I'd be plenty happy. And substituting a corporate law paycheck for the one I get from Uncle Sam wouldn't hurt either. But I left law school committed to being a litigator and wanting to pursue diverse experiences in law, including one day in public service. Why the change? Because Northwestern Law School changed me. You see, I don't come from a family of lawyers, and I entered law school with no reference point other than wanting to become an M&A lawyer and to make a good living. I knew very little about litigation and even less about the judiciary. Indeed, the day before my 1L classes began, as my wife Sarah and I were putting my books in my locker, another law student was at his locker, introduced himself, and he told me he was a 3L. So I asked him what he planned to do after graduation, and he told me he was going to be a law clerk on the DC Circuit. Well, I had no idea what he was talking about. No idea what a law clerk was, much less why anyone would want to do something like that, and no clue what the DC Circuit was, other than perhaps some outfit in Washington. Well, it gets better. As Sarah and I walked back to our apartment, I remember telling her that the guy we met seemed very nice, but I felt sorry for him because the job he got sounded miserable. Probably the best he could do after bottoming out in the classroom. And believe me, I too laugh at this, laugh at how clueless I was and how life has come full circle and has a way of doing so. Northwestern opened a whole new world for me, and it started right away in my 1L year when I won the lottery by drawing Professor Marty Reddish for civil procedure, Professor Steve Calabrese for constitutional law, and Professor Victor Rosenblum for torts. To say these professors had an influence on me doesn't even begin to capture it. I came to love litigation largely because of them. And at the same time, I kept witnessing the incredible work coming out of the law school's legal clinic, most especially the path-breaking exposure of wrongful convictions in many capital cases here in Illinois. The combination of all of this led me to see law as loaded with opportunities to make positive differences in the lives of others and within communities. Northwestern's culture, then as now, encourages us to think about a life in law as a professional calling, and to live out that calling by finding ways to serve causes larger than ourselves, to help better the lives of others, redress injustices, press for change, and the like. I graduated resolved to do just that, unsure in what way, but committed for certain. Many of you will enter law firms this fall, and some of you who do so will look to drop anchor for a career, a very sound choice. Others of you may go to a firm for a while, get some experience, and pay off some debt along the way. That path is equally sound, for the profession today allows you to move between firms if a good opportunity presents itself, and the ability to rotate in and out of private practice if you want to leave to work in the public interest or to provide public service. And still others of you may be entering public interest work directly following graduation. All good opportunities in my book. No matter what path you travel, commit from day one to using your immense talent and energy to help others in need and to work on causes or for organizations you care deeply about. You're so fortunate to have a law degree. So now use it to give back to others. Remember why you went to law school. You can do this in so many different ways. By, for example, joining the board of a charity, helping a nonprofit incorporate, representing a non-citizen in immigration proceedings, or accepting a pro bono appointment to brief and argue an appeal in the Seventh Circuit. Ask yourself what you're passionate about, and then act on it by getting involved. In these uncertain times, and perhaps now more than ever, our communities need your help and your passion. Make the commitment now, and I can all but promise you, you'll feel enormous professional enrichment, develop new relationships, and become much more efficient and effective as a lawyer. During my years in private practice, I always felt I was a better lawyer for ABC Company because of the experiences I had on the board of Catholic Charities and because of the criminal defense work I did on a volunteer basis in the Federal Defender's Office. Not only because of what I learned through these experiences, but because they helped keep me grounded, reminding me time and again of my commitment to community, to the law, and to using that Northwestern JD to make a difference in ways large and small. Using our talent to work in the public interest is the way we realize the fundamental truth of life, that through giving comes receiving. If taking account of this broader picture, the broader uncertainty around us feels too much at times, let me encourage you to keep focused on how you can surely make a difference through your own personal example. Example matters, and it matters as much today as ever. This is something, yes, at least one thing you can control as the unrelenting winds of change and uncertainty continue to blow around you in so many different directions. What I'm saying may seem small to you. It's not. It's huge. For it's much easier to affect the micro than the macro. It's much easier for you, in your own way, with your own touch, with your own creativity, in your own circle of life, to make a difference by focusing on how you carry yourself and how you treat others. Resolve now to never send an email, text, or instant message you may regret sending tomorrow morning. Name-calling and insults never help, never build relationships, and never solve hard problems. You know, I think my grandfather had it right, once telling me that nobody likes jerks. To borrow from the late Senator and lawyer Alan Simpson, commit yourself to always traveling that higher road of decency and respect. You won't experience nearly as much traffic, and you'll be way more effective, way more desirable to work with. Allow your own example to teach others as you advocate zealously yet respectfully for your clients. And to that end, let me encourage you to sharpen what is perhaps the most underestimated skill of all: listening. Every great lawyer I know is also a great listener. It's through listening that we learn from and better understand each other. Listening serves as the foundation of every, or nearly every, bridged divide. So when opposing counsel presses an unreasonable point of view or raises his voice, and believe me, you'll hear or see it soon enough, resist the urge to dig in or to sling an arrow. Pick up the phone, and yes, I mean literally, and talk. Hear them out and explain to them why you're not buying it. Trust me on this. If you listen first and react second, you'll be surprised at the common ground you can identify, even where any agreement may have seemed beyond reach. And you'll go home that day, and indeed every day, with your blood pressure in check. Never and always, as some of you have heard me say, are dangerous words in law. But they fit today in two ways. Never, all caps, bold, never, compromise your integrity. Your reputation will mean everything as you practice. Honesty and integrity are the foundations of trust. So commit now to protecting your reputation no matter what. Living life, including your life as a lawyer, with character and virtue will make you stand out. And that's yet another way you can make a difference. And always be willing to acknowledge mistakes. You will make them just like I make them. Mistakes are unavoidable in law and in life. What matters is whether we react to them by owning and learning from them. Humility stands out. So as I wind down, I want to go back to that challenge of navigating today's uncertain times. While there's a me part of the solution, your own personal example, there's also a very important we component. You don't have to navigate any of this alone. As you begin your legal career, seek to find a good mentor, someone you can turn to for sound advice and that you can trust when the going gets tough. Maybe that person's sitting 3 rows behind you, or up here on that stage, or is back in your hometown watching this ceremony online. Maybe you'll find that great mentor two doors down from you in your law firm, or maybe on that charity board you volunteer to serve on as you get started in law practice. I've had no shortage of mentors throughout my career, and those relationships mean the world to me. I want to mention one in particular, and my late colleague, Joel Flom. Judge Flom graduated from Northwestern Law in 1963. He taught here for many years, served on the federal bench for a month shy of just 50 years, before dying last December 4th, 3 weeks after receiving a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award at the Supreme Court. When I joined the Seventh Circuit, Judge Flom took me under his wing, as he did nearly every judge for the last 4 decades. And I'll never forget him looking me in the eye on my first day at the court and telling me 2 things. Scudder, make sure everyone that appears before you leaves the courtroom knowing they got their day in court. And when you write opinions, write them for the losing party. The winner will be thrilled they won, but it's how you explain the loss that matters more. Why am I sharing this with you? To encourage you to seek mentors. They matter. Do not lose sight of the community you've created with those graduating alongside you today. Your time at Northwestern, no doubt, provided you many close-knit friendships. Hang on to them, help each other, and support one another. Finding smart friends and colleagues also helps you think through hard issues. Our work improves when we collaborate. You'll be happier, and you'll realize that lawyering, like life, is at its best as a team sport. If you make these resolutions and work very hard to implement them, then your legal education will surely have mattered. Because Northwestern has already taught you each of these lessons, I just get the opportunity, the honor of reminding you of them from this stage. So if I can offer just one final overarching suggestion about the way you might thank Northwestern Law School, that is to put what you've already learned, the lessons and the wisdom you've gained from your time here, into practice, and then to pay it forward by the example you set for others. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you, Judge Scudder, for sharing those meaningful and inspiring insights with the class of 2025 and for celebrating this special occasion with us. We're extremely grateful, and I know it means a tremendous amount to our graduates to have you here with us today. Now, I'm very pleased to be able to introduce our first student speaker, who will introduce the LLM class of 2025 before their hooding ceremony. So at Northwestern Pritzker School of Law, we follow an academic tradition that dates back to the 13th century, which you can read more about in your program. After each student speaker is concluded, each graduate will be called by name and will come forward and be adorned with an academic hood signifying their degree. Faculty closely involved with each degree program will help distribute the hoods. So we ask right now that everyone here stay in the theater through the entire ceremony as a sign of respect for all members of the class of 2025. So, as I said, it's a long-standing tradition at our law school for the graduating class to select some of their classmates to deliver remarks. And this year's class has selected 3 speakers: an LLM graduate, a JD graduate, and a graduate of our Master of Science in Law program. They are Moon Hwan Lee, Kana Turley, and Diane Nguyen. Now we'll hear from Moon Hwan Lee before he introduces the LLM class of 2025. Graduating summa cum laude from Germany and previously receiving a National Minister of Education Award in Korea, Moon has demonstrated a strong commitment to academic excellence, legal innovation, and public service. During his time in the LLM program, Moon completed over 300 hours of pro bono and public service work, earning the highest public service recognition. His legal writing received national honors, winning first place in both the NYSBA Stein Memorial Paper Competition and the Hager Prize. His international research was published by the Yale Journal of International Affairs, and he authored a policy report for the United Nations Human Rights Council's 60th session on global regulatory justice. He was a national top 3 finalist in the U.S. Legal Innovation Tournament for developing emotional intelligence tools for dispute resolution, which led to a pilot partnership with the New York State Dispute Resolution Association. He also co-authored medical legal research accepted for presentation at the American Academy of Neurology Conference. After graduation, Moon will continue advancing legal tech ventures and global research at the intersection of law, policy, and technology. His legal writing skills and passion for the law are sure to propel him to great heights, and we have no doubt that he will continue to make significant contributions to the profession. Please join us in welcoming Moon Hwan Lee.
Thank you. So, thank you everyone, dean, faculty, and staff, fellow students, and their families, and my family. So before coming to Northwestern, we were not beginners. We came from courts, ministries, firms, or universities. Many of us were already lawyers. Some practiced for years. Some were prosecutors, counsels, or government officers. We brought experience. But then, our first classes at Northwestern began, and we became beginners again. New system, new law, new city. And we got lost in the mysterious MC, LM, and LB. And we were back to asking questions like, what is even Blue Book? And we got lost in the citation rules. But that's the thing. It was our choice to become beginners again. And being a beginner doesn't mean starting from nothing. It means starting from courage. And you could see that courage everywhere. Some of us presented at lawyers around the world to tell hard, real stories about their country. Some of us argued fiercely at moot court competition. Some of us even ran the Chicago Marathon, and some danced in Follies. You could also see different forms of courage. Some of us served through committees and student organizations. Some of us spoke up for us. Some of us just said hi. But that also takes huge courage as well, because that is the courage to connect with someone different. We met people we might never have met in any other part of our lives. So one of my friends told me, I never liked Koreans until I met you. You're my first Korean friend. So I don't think he really didn't like Koreans, but we just never had the chance to get to know each other before. But here in Northwestern, we got that chance. I became best friend with someone I might never have met otherwise. One of my best papers was born from a conversation with someone whose background was completely different from mine. And at Global Village, the food was amazing, but we didn't just share food. We shared our home, we shared who we are, we shared our cultures. We tasted each other's cultures, we listened to each other. So starting over is not just about learning new laws. It's also about opening up again and again to people, to ideas, to ways of thinking that we didn't grow up with. All of us left something behind to come here: work, family, or a stable life. That was not a small decision. It is not a small thing to start over when you don't have to. We were experts in our own system, but here we chose to become beginners again. And now, as we leave, we begin again at new jobs in new countries with new challenges. We may carry a little more knowledge, but more than that, we carry the same courage that brought us here, the courage to start over. The world doesn't just need the people who think they already have all the answers. It needs more brave beginners, people willing to listen, to learn, and to open the doors that had never been there before. And that's who we are. Congratulations, class of 2025. It has been an honor to begin again with you. Thank you. And now, will the LLM candidates please stand if you're able? So, Dean Osofsky, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, friends, and family, it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you the 2025 candidates for Master of Laws in International Human Rights, Master of Laws International Executive Master's Program, and Master of Laws in Taxation. LLM candidates now will process to the stage to receive their hoods. Congratulations, class.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws to be hooded by Professors Andy Koppelman, Cliff Zimmerman, Adi Altshuler. Dina, no. Jacob Dane Chilton. Tsushwen Lin. Stefan Grieber. Xiao Cheng Chue, Shunran Li, Ming-Shu Tsai. Young E. Ko, Yu Ho, Mingjie Jia. Yukimasa Hayashi, Leonardo Padilla Aguilar, Ayano Hori. Fang Tzu Kang, Jiangnan Zhou, Eva Marie Hilde Gonzalez. Xue Li, Xiao Jun Yang, Win Fan Chun. Tong Zhang, Jiaqi Deng, Xiangfei Fan Di. Iwana Kirita, Keiichiro Yokoyama, Dingran Liu. Japan Gao, Jamin Fan, Chunsenren Fang. Binshi Tan, Yixuan Wu, Yishu Lin. Yajo Liu, Ling Yen Liu, Yitong Shu. Weiwen Chen, Qingyuan Jun. Wen-Shin Yen. Juyuan Chen. Jianing Lu. Haiwei Agnes Shung. Huiyu Guo. Jingjing Wang. Naif Ashalan. Dani Zhu. Zuhan Zhang. Agim Tsurai. Ahmad Essam Abdulatif. Su Akgul. Muhammad Usama Akil. Qi Wang. Xueqing Wu. Naif Fasal Almosa. Rohan Zhou. Iwe Xie. Suhan Wu. Xunjue Zhong. Zuhan Lin. Jie Gao. Unsen Hu. Haoyu Liu. Roy Wang. Wanhao Miao. Uchun Dong. Jing Yuan. Yiqing Guo. Xiaolong Dong. Hengsheng Tu. Jarui Deep. Nyani Zhan. Yutong Zhu. Yiting Liu. Hongxun Chen. Jiachun Huang. Jinyi Yang, Rongshun Shin, Kai-hung Hu. Kai-hao Ni, Zhuxuan Zhao, Mahenkant Dubey. Giacomo Basigalupo, Juan Esteban Rueda, Xin Gao. Mingyue Liu, Yunying Pan, Chu Zhang. Jiayun Chen, Qiantong Jiang, Hosen Chen. Chao Yi Quinn Sun, Qianyi Chu, Wei Feng Tian. Jorge San Juan Femenia, Kevin Ivan Araiza Raso, Yuhan Wu. Lisa Van Gelder Jensen, Patricia Sabrina Viveros Rodriguez, Andrea Montante Trujillo, Luis Noelle Felisa Brett Vacchiani Marcuso, Alexandra Karchenko, Yue Chang, Moon Hwan Lee, Kaori Kawaguchi, Saumya Vashisht, Elizabeth Liu, Niyati Vishwanath Ganwat, Yuyang Wang, Ziyan Guo, Jingyi Lei, Yuewen Xin, Shui Fan, Jiayan Zhu, Ranxi Yang, Qingjiao Liu, Luigi Riso, Jan Patrick Werner, Roman Zaufel, Diego Diaz Suarez, Alejandro Flores Pasquel, Maria Jose Bordalí Velasco, Antonio Serrano Bascuñan, Juan Pablo Estupiñán Mora, María Isabel Lancheros Arteaga, Camila Rocio España Garijo, Valeria Colangelo, Manuel Felipe Ramos, Mario Vanegas, Jesus Daniel Villegas Gutierrez, Ana Laura Dalmolin, Marina dos Santos, Aline Januario Farias, Thaisa Cainero Marion, Thais Hugeri Giancochi, Carolina Simoyes da Silva, Xiaoyue Yang, Xuan Zhou, Sunge Tang, Chunyang Cao, Bo Wang, Maria Fernanda Marvan, Sofia Bustamante, Nicholas Pacheco, Stefano Alessandro Peña Sarnelli, Eric Mateus Haddad Souza, Yuje Hu, Mateusz Martins Camaroch, walking with Beatriz Camaroch, Sebastian Sanchez Gutierrez, walking with Alonso. Victoria Morgenstern, walking with Eliza and Paulina. Hee-dong Yi, walking with Yunsun and Simon. She Chuan Lai, walking with Bo Chen and Yu Chao. Misaki Fujisawa, walking with Rika and Kaname. Taisuke Ueno, walking with Haruki. Okay. Hafizullah Sediki. Camila Andrea Cadavid Ayarza. Nicholas Rueda, hooded by Alvaro Rueda. That is the end of the candidates for the Master of Laws. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws Executive Program, Madrid, to be hooded by Professors Steve Reed, Neha Jain, Carmen Perez Yorca Zamora. Luis Guillermo Vallejo Gonzalez. Jorge Fernandez Branif Mendez. Philipp Manuel Staudigl. Diego Alberto Vilches Lizarraga. Boris Saldana. Joanna Gouveia Bugia. Thaisa Seni. Beatriz Domingos da Selva Jaubuch. Noura Abdulaziz Alotem. Hee-Jun Wu. Alexis Judith de Cambil Perez. Adriana Marin Hanau. Laura Hernandez Castañeda. Maria Camila Velasco. Mariana Cordero Morales. Bruno Pesantes Muragi. Oscar Eduardo Valencia Ramirez. Carl Tuma. Nicolás Gómez Ortiz. Marilu López Peralta. Adrián López Casab. Jorge Alberto Cortés Peña. Fabricio Bogino. Maclaim Peña Argandoña. Candidates for the Masters of Studies in Law, Lindsay Marcellus Guillon, Georges Elie Sade, and for the Masters of Laws Executive Program in Madrid, Jose Manuel Contreras Reyes. Karina Hernandez Partida, Natalia Acevedo Rodriguez, Valeria Libreros Ruiz, Patricia Torres, Laura Cristina Farias Arcila, Dandan Jen, Diana Rivas Quintero, hooded by Camilo Reyes. That is the end of the Masters of Laws Executive Program Madrid. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws in Taxation, to be hooded by Professors Paul Pensack, Philip Postlethwaite, Genevieve Tokic. Christine Lee, Xianan Wu, Su Wu Zhang, Byung-Hun Yu, Alistair Jones, Keandra Lynette Harrison, Blakely Renee Davis, Chidozie E. Okafor, Leela Nora Whitlow, Jennifer O. Arinze, Joy Elise Gabrielle Howard, Bryce Joseph Hagan, Damilola Anu Adebayo, Jason L. Boatwright, Corey Benjamin Doty, Connor James Martini, Chandler Thornton, Hugh Hamilton Zier, Dhruv N. Subraniam, Shan Rajiv Parikh, Michael Snedeker, Junze Ju, Yasmin Kumari Sharesta, Daniel Bradford McCain, Ari B. Gordon, Oleg P. Perry, Pawan Deep Komanolu Prasanna, Juan Andres Bonilla, Brady Webb, Jacob Debuse, Daniel Ordonez, Mazen Mohammed Al-Ghamdi, Ramon Youssef, Maxwell Simon Holloman, Frank C. Casals, walking with Tabitha and Catherine. That is the end of the Master of Laws in Taxation. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws in International Human Rights, to be hooded by Professors Carolyn Fraser, Priyanka Motaparthi, Neha Jain. Maranatha Zichun Kure, Susana Pachon Echeverri, Asmila Shakel, Chia Chang Chuang, Danielle Anwar Khan, that is the end of the Master of Laws in International Human Rights.
So could everyone please join us in giving an enormous congratulations to the 2025 candidates for the Master of Laws in International Human Rights, Master of Laws in International Executive Master's Program, Master of Laws in Taxation. Our next speaker is Kana Turley. Who will then introduce the JD class of 2025. Before law school, Kana earned a bachelor's degree in political communication from Regent University and worked in corporate and banking compliance. She won the 2024 minor moot court competition, argued before the Seventh Circuit as part of the Federal Appellate Clinic, and is publishing a forthcoming article in the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology. She's currently planning to practice litigation, but says there's a chance she might do M&A instead. And on a more personal note, Kana shared with us that while at Northwestern, she participated in too many student organizations, was duped into joining a journal, and consumed a concerning amount of Harry's chili. Kana has made a tremendous difference during her time here at Northwestern Pritzker Law, and we're all very grateful for her many contributions to our law school. Could you please join us in welcoming Kana Turley?
Good afternoon. It is an honor to address the JD class of 2025. 3 years ago, we arrived on Northwestern's doorstep with a wide range of hopes and dreams Some of us just wanted to get law school over with so we could start billing our time in 6-minute increments. Some of us had useless liberal arts degrees that didn't exactly scream job security, making law school a logical next step. And some of us came here driven by a deep concern for the injustices of the world, hoping that Northwestern would give us the tools to make lasting change. Today, even if our goals haven't changed, our lives look undeniably different. For many of us, law school has opened doors that we didn't even know existed. It has connected us with professors and mentors who have shaped our ambitions. It has presented us with opportunities that have changed the trajectories of our careers. It has deepened and complicated our understanding of justice and our relationship with the legal system. And even if you feel that law school was not the most worthwhile investment of $250,000, there is no denying that the degree we receive today carries a level of privilege and prestige that is unimaginable to many. It should be noted that the gratitude we feel and the privilege of this degree can coexist with a sober awareness of the current moment. We are witnessing the unsettling erosion of values foundational to our nation and profession, which has impacted even our own campus. And equally troubling is that many of the institutions we looked up to have responded to this erosion with silence and capitulation. But these institutions were never going to be the torchbearer of our morals or the vanguard of our values. Morals and values are not institutional qualities. They are human ones. They live in people, and they manifest in the choices people make. They live in us, and they manifest in the choices we make. And while I have no doubt that every person in this room will build careers marked by achievement and success, I hope that we will all choose to build careers marked by virtue and integrity. It is of no benefit to gain the entire world and forfeit your soul in the process. But I believe that it is this graduating class who will remind us of that lesson at a time when it is sorely needed, because you are passionate, you are courageous, you are resourceful, you are fiercely intelligent, and once you receive your diploma today, you will be truly unstoppable. And I am just proud to be among you and to celebrate this accomplishment with you today. On behalf of everyone, thank you to the dean and the administration without whom the school would completely fall apart, the incredible professors who always pushed us to think harder and to reach further, our families whose emotional support and, in many cases, financial support carried us through, and lastly, the wonderful friendships and lifelong relationships that we have cultivated here. 3 years ago, I could have only dreamed that I would cross paths with so many inspiring and loving people. As it turns out, dreams do come true. Have a wonderful weekend with your loved ones. Good luck with bar prep on Monday. And above all, congratulations. And now, will the JD candidates please stand if you are able? Dean Osofsky, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, friends, and family, it is my privilege and honor to introduce the 2025 candidates for Juris Doctor. JD candidates will now proceed to the stage to receive their hoods. Congratulations, everyone.
Now, the candidates will be receiving hoods from Dean Haryasovsky, the Honorable Michael Y. Scudder Jr., and Associate Dean Samantha Wu. As well, they will be hooded by Professors Wendy Muchman, Professor Emily Cadence, and Professor Annie Booth. So now, for the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration, we have Abby N. Rice, Opeyemi Awe, Corey Erickson Howard. Jonathan Michael Jean-Baptiste. Ben Maman Morton. Colin Mitchell Omori. Jago Ian Thomas. Jacob Nathaniel Stewart. Joshua Berg Levinson. Samuel Aaron Rubenroyd. Benjamin C. Weidman. Yanis Normand. Hania Salim Hafiz. And Shika Niraj. Jackson Gilliam. Randolph Joel Acosta Francia. Zara Siddiqui. Irina J. Huang. Jennifer Chong. Matthew B. McKilla. And this is the end of the candidates for Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration. Now for the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. Samuel Howard Pargament. Michaela Nicole Beauchamp. Michelle Ike. Jerron Aaron Moore. Fernando Jameson Harris II. Got it. Ezra Tishkoff Lemley. Made me do it. David Tomas Temprano. Murtaza Huned Doctor. McCall Jenna Hoops. Sophie Nicole Morrison. Eric A. Schultz. Brent Daniel Larson. Jameson Kent Barber. Estelle Ziki Wong. Yuki Tong. Fei Gao, who's for the degree of Juris Doctor of Masters of Law in Taxation. And for the degree of Juris Doctor are Kite Zhong and Michael Chandler Gupta. Charles Gerard Maven. Selena Yuehan Hua. Asiya Wasif. Nisha Rayashekhar. Leah Reddy. Udans Reddy Malasani. Noor Musa Al-Sheikh. Sharoch Hamid Abbas. Rowan Wise Aragon. Rebecca Dale Osbrook. Maggie Burke. Weiran Liu. April Karina Guevara Espinosa. Alicia Roxanne Richards. Alexis Renee White. Martin Slihan Fong. Stephen Hao Yang. Lu Yu Shui. Hans Wang. Weidong Derek Wang. John Corey Shields. Now, for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration, Zev Kukier Striegler, hooded by Vanessa Kursenovich. Rachel Jean Lubin, hooded by Joseph Lubin. And Beatrice Dominique Robertson, hooded by Camila Pointer. And also for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration, Jacob Kaysen Greenberg, hooded by Susan Glatt Greenberg, and Evelyn Namhyung Do, hooded by Harrison Seng Ki Hong. Now, continuing with the degree of Juris Doctor, Brett Eli Sokol, Lindsay Marie Vermerlen, Jordan Bernholtz, Matthew Thomas Johnson, Dana Lynn Dworkin, Esme James Trance, Kaylee Morgan Fairchild, Brianne Wiley, Michael Taylor Judah, Austin Michael Burnett, Joshua Robert Williams, Cole Halpin, Kirk William Haynes Brown, Megan Holman, Michaela Jane Yarosh, Sean Thomas Craig, Gung-hee Park, Bergen Nathaniel Smith, Sophia Liu, Alisher Drews Genban, Serena Chu Lightstone, Ivy Kaplan, Madison Leanne Tilner, Marissa Ann McGettigan, Sydney Ann Matriciano. And for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Laws in Taxation, Magali Lopez Berrios. Back to the degree of Juris Doctor, Taylor Wagner Semakula. Asia Celine Posey. Cooper Hugh Dossett. Tony Smith. Samantha Kaharu Kubota. Jessica Lee Thompson. Adrian Margaret Redmond. Evan M. Myers. Jasmine Sabrina Halas. Zain Alexander Rashdan. Angela Cifarelli. Noah Amin Motabar. Sean Xuan Yang. Lillian Parker. Megan Louise Turl. Gregory James Hayes. Elaine Rodler McCartan. Alexandra Julia Hallbeck. Latiana Marie Duma. Maya Star Tazzle. Brianna Khaleesi Spite. Kevin Sung. Daniela Isabel Di Stefano. Samantha Marie Creighton. Alexander M. Shipatich. Daniela de la Cruz. Rachel Fanny Wittenberg. Akshay Satagopan. Ping Fan Albert Town. Noah Michael Hornberger. Amanda Lynn Borwegan. Ilka Yesor. Maya Solis Rugama. Margaret Mary Amon. Nicoletta Irie Loverso. Quinn Patrick Bassett. Natalie Frances Hart. Jasmine Denman. Colleen Janelle McCauley. Melanie Ramirez Guevara. Joseph Paul Wolf. Rebecca Cameron. Samuel Benjamin Pritchard. And for the degree of Juris Doctor, Master of Laws in Taxation, Ethan Lane Matthews. And continuing with the degree for Juris Doctor, Corey Bowlby and Ratia Hopkins. Dominic Hans Kuhlmann. Madeline Lambert New. Rachel Rucker Barchi. Claire Cameron Evans. Victoria Q. Wynn. Taylor Ray Lockett. Kira Nichelle Wade. Gabrielle Wimes. Sarah Lawal. Karina Mendez. Cameron Stephen McCall. Spencer Davon McGee Castilla. Marshall J. Jeffries. Stuart Martin Massa. Samuel Jeffrey Shalaba. Anissa Ali Dagger. Nicholas Elliott Smith. Ethan Diaz Mason. Yisu Alexis Kong. Youngyu Chloe Kim. Charles James Levin. Trevor Michael Scully. Michael Paul Rutsky. Benjamin Jared Stoloff. Michael Reed Van Gorp. Allison Elizabeth Sopp. Emily Grace Alvarez. Nicholas Alfred O'Connor. Garrett Samuel Jochnow. Jennifer Emily Filler. Avery Sheldon Brennan. Domine Griffin Meert. Ariadna Desiree Mari. Destiny D. Saucedo Mota. Kana Turley. Anna Catherine Hecht. Reika, it's bad. Rika Kim. William Jackson Shear. Hannah Leah Clapper. Jacob Peter Allen. Grace Marie Sweeten. Akiva Baruch Unger. Shayla Elaine Scott. Haley Rose Lane. Kendall Sirika. Parker Grace Whitlow. Grace Lim. Songhee Cecilia Cho. Matthew Galuen Chu. Adam Min Long Win. Horace Chow. Anirudh J. Koka. Puri Tiasevanaku. Jerome Dugan. Philip Joseph Pilari. Phelim Joseph Giblin, Jr. Stephen Doring. Daniel Ryan Sullivan. Layla Abdinasir Ali. Madeline Barone. Lucas Neil Kelly. Joshua Stephen Newmark. Samuel Ryan Bevenauer. Brandon Michael Ranieri. Shelby Ames Kasanovich. Henry Samuel Soronsky. Madeline Lynch Karp. Emily N. Potter. Aiden James Beals. Ann Kristen Wooding. Catherine Ann Fabiano. Eric Conrad Arnold. Alex J. Andrikian. Robert Ruelas. Quentin Riley Hassani Bub. David Hames. Christopher Bradley Zahn. Matthew Thomas Green. Grace Dugan. Jacqueline Orfield. Quinn T. Brosnahan. William Bradley Dunbar. C.J. Miller. Anna Powell. Xing Yeah. Andrew Mario Wolf. Nehua Guo. Jonathan Decker. Aaron Pinkett. Skylar Roll. Celeste Shen. Mandy Zhang. Victoria Xuan Wang. Mungyao He. William R. Cutler, walking with Charles and Weston. And Liam Milner, walking with Michael and Andrew. Jasmine Shanuda Makar, walking with Anastasia Marie. Lola Catherine Medina, walking with Nicholas. And Alyssa Danielle Hiller, walking with Jackson and Emerson. Gabriella Sarah Lee Goldstein, walking with Louisa. And for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Laws in Taxation, Baruch Zimmerman, walking with Gigi and Daniel. Back to the degree of Juris Doctor, Melody Mostow, walking with Dita, Gaby, and Noam. David Ani, hooded by Scott Shimizu. Sami Ahmed Abdel Salam, hooded by Tariq Al-Masri. And Arib Asif, hooded by Dylan Steele. Youngun Emma Kim, hooded by Yonsui Kim. Maggie Anya Moriarty Miltko, hooded by Susan Moriarty Miltko. Nina Gabriel Hall, hooded by Sarah Marmer. And Mira Jean Solden, hooded by Scott Solden. And this is the end of the degrees for Juris Doctor.
Please join us in congratulating the 2025 candidates for Juris Doctor. Our final speaker is Diane Nguyen. Who will then introduce the MSL class of 2025. Before coming to Northwestern Pritzker Law, Diane earned her bachelor's degree in integrative biology from the University of California, Berkeley, and has worked across clinical care, research, and digital health innovation. At Northwestern, she was involved in the Student Bar Association as chair of the Facilities Committee, Inclusive Legal Entrepreneurship Lab, Northwestern Society for Law and Medicine, MSL Student Advisory Council, and Habeas Corpus. After graduation, Diane plans to continue to work at the intersection of healthcare, technology, and policy to help shape equitable and patient-centered approaches to care. We're grateful for all of Diane's contributions during her time here and are excited for the impact she's going to have through her important work in healthcare. Could you please join us in welcoming Diane?
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, for that warm introduction. Good afternoon, faculty, family, and fellow graduates. If you had told me a year ago that I'd be standing up here speaking today, I would not have believed you. 1 year ago, speaking in front of 3 people would have made my palms sweaty, knees weak, and arms heavy. And while I still wouldn't recommend checking my pulse right now, I am incredibly honored to be representing the MSL class of 2025. All of the graduates here have each had to overcome our own individual challenges. Some of us are the first in our families to attend college, much less graduate school. Some of us balance full-time jobs while enrolled in this master's program. Some of us have moved across the world to get a legal education in a foreign language. And yet, despite both our visible and invisible struggles, here we all are. Because that's the kind of people that the MSL attracts. We are curious about complexity and lean into difficulty. We were drawn to the MSL because we want to live at the intersection of multiple disciplines, to have a complex view of world topics and problems, and have unique ideas on how to solve them. Although many of us come from STEM backgrounds, we challenged ourselves to think from a legal perspective. We're engineers who want to understand regulation, or pre-meds who want to understand health policy. We are now graduating as future professionals who understand how science works, how law shapes it, and how to drive the change that turns vision into reality. Getting here was not always easy, though. Some days there were more mental breakdowns than others, especially on those nights before a major paper is due. It's 2 a.m., you're sitting at your dining room table on your 5th cup of coffee with 50 tabs open, and you're questioning every life decision that led you to this point. But we still did the work, and we still showed up, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. And now we stand on the other side, more resilient, and hopefully a little wiser to not procrastinate again. We have grown so much since starting this program. The progress was sometimes slow and imperceptible, but it was those moments of self-doubt and overwhelm and the choice to keep going anyway that transformed us. These are the growing pains that help shape our unique and rich life stories. But none of this would have been possible alone. I want to first thank all of the loved ones in the audience and those watching from afar today who have supported all of us on our journeys. To my friends and family, thank you for the times you have supported me. Without you, I would not be who I am today. To all of the amazing MSL staff, thank you for working tirelessly to help us, for putting out fires we didn't even know existed, and for keeping things running smoothly despite our very best attempts to do otherwise. And to the lifelong friends I've made in this program. I don't know how this cohort was put together, but I am so immensely grateful that we met and for all our shared memories and our moments of joy. I would not have had the opportunity to be standing here without your encouragement, your belief in me, and your friendship, and I am better for having known you. Finally, today is a celebration of all that we have accomplished. With the tools we've gained from the MSL, we are uniquely positioned to shape the future, to bridge the gap between science and policy, between innovation and regulation, and to lead meaningful change with empathy. I think sometimes we are so busy focusing on what's next that we can forget to appreciate where we are right now and just how far we've come. Today is proof that we are capable of so much more than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. That's why I want to leave you with the rare, wise words of Andy Bernard from The Office. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. These may very well be the good old days, but if we continue to seek growth, lift each other up, and lead with kindness, there will be even better days ahead. So here's your reminder. Take this moment to pause and soak it all in. The bright lights, the sounds, including the crying babies, the friends and family around you, and be proud of this incredible accomplishment. Congratulations, class of 2025. And now, will the MSL candidates please stand if you are able? Dean Osofsky, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, friends, and family, it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you the 2025 candidates for Master of Studies in Law and Master of Science in Law. MSL candidates will now process to the stage to receive their hoods. Congratulations.
We don't have a sheet. Does the program give it? Okay.
The candidates for the Master of Science in Law: Kristen A. Wajwoda, Elizabeth Gonzalez, Chinmeri S. Wuba, Narita A. Parks, Naomi N. Scully, Tiara Taylor Guider, Talia R. Johnson, Talia R. Johnson, Eternity Sledge, Monique Shundan Drones, Bud Ward Sims, Min H. Nguyen, Mohammed Khalafala, Michelle Catherine Hartman, Andrea Diane Birnbaum, Craig Allen Lee, Kai-Chung Zhang, Ye Shun, Gabrielle Byung-chan Kim, Clarissa Harris, Muno Jun, Gianna Julia Loiacono, Sumya Shukla, Sarah K. Ben Yosef, Patrick Wu, Jesus M. Pineda, Benjamin James Dorgan Nelson, Quinn O'Neill Boozer, Omid Hashemi Nejad, Cecil J. Kidenda, Paul Mesan Amatordo, Amy M. Kiorkagi, Elizabeth H. Tran, Tanishka Vikas Amin, Jie Ji, Diane An Nguyen, Tasneem Lobinger, Stephanie Tam, Hannah Shang Lee, Maggie May K. Choi, Sly Sayah, Matthew R. Wilson, Caitlin M. Thompson, Anna Ruby Layla Glassman, Humna Beg, James Crow, Catherine Agnes Gruner, Pilanda Watkins Curry, Landon Joseph Swopes, Varsha Malamreddy, Hanyan Gu, Kelly Christine Lee Stecker, walking with Joseph and Addison. Ruth Ray Wilder Barrows, Dolgen Batsingle, Kimberly Jacob Paredes, Xiang Li, Wei Jin, Jajwin Zhou, Alexis Wendy Lee, Hao Yuen Jiang, Jai Dong, Yinwu Guo, Yuhen Tang, Jingkun Xian, Shifa Shahid Banani, Anjali B. Patel, Veronica Dominguez Holguin, Jordan J. Singleton. Yang Huang, walking with Dylan. Kane Jointer Eddings, walking with Parker and Hunter. Merlion. Jacqueline Jargal, walking with Merlion and Leo. Vincent Armand, walking with Alexander. Casey J. Leah, walking with Mia, Julia, and Cecilia. Antonio L. Anderson, walking with Elena, Ayana, and Ace. Janelle Salkowitz-Bokal. The hood will be presented by Professor Peter DeCola. Receiving her hood, her husband Dick Bokal and her children Hannah and Sarah. That is the end of the Master of Science in Law.
Could you please join us in congratulating the 2025 candidates for the Master in the Studies of Law and Master of Sciences in Law? And now, with the entire class of 2025, please stand if you are able. It is my distinct honor and tremendous pleasure to present to everyone here the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law Class of 2025. You can be seated now. So, you did it, everyone. We couldn't be more proud of you. Today marks the end of your time as a student and the beginning of another equally important relationship with the law school. Today, you join our alumni community of over 19,000 people worldwide, all over the globe. And as you navigate the years ahead, we're here, as our alumni community is, to support your professional and personal growth and hope that you're going to come back and pay it forward and share all your insights and support with the students who come after you. One of the things I love most about our Northwestern Pritzker Law community is the fact that to almost a person, our alumni say to me, coming to Northwestern changed my life, and I made my best friends here. And I just love the fact that we are creating, I know the deep friendships that have already formed in this class, and in this time where we're talking so much about challenge, part of what gives me so much hope are the relationships that people have formed in this room over these 3 years, over this 1 year, from places all over the world. So, look, none of us can predict the opportunities and the challenges of life. As I think the challenges of the past 3 years, even the challenges of this year, have profoundly highlighted. I certainly sort of couldn't have predicted it from there, and I don't think any of us could have. But what I really encourage you to do is to embrace the synergies and the synchronicities, the learning that comes from our challenges, that comes from those times where we make mistakes and we learn from them and we move forward. I really loved the way Judge Scudder talked about that in his remarks. And also lean into those opportunities that each of us has to advance justice and the rule of law and really make a difference. Make a difference at an individual level, make a difference in our communities, make a difference through that moment of kindness that we have with one another. And I encourage all of you, I know many of you have heard me say that you can't get any job you don't apply for, so apply for that job. Walk through that unexpectedly open door, even if you're not quite sure you're actually qualified for it. And as Judge Scudder made clear in his inspiring address, never compromise your integrity. As you take your next steps forward, we're all so proud of you and excited for you. Congratulations again to our class of 2025 and to all of your loved ones. This concludes our ceremony. We hope you'll all join us back at the law school for a party. We're going to have a graduation celebration following the ceremony. The faculty is going to recess out theater stage right, and then the graduates will come up onto the stage and recess out theater stage left. Again, congratulations to our amazing graduates, and thank you, everyone.